Fine. Uh, we have started the discussion of welded connection. Please maintain silence. We were discussing about the welded connections, and in that we have seen what are the advantages and what are the challenges, or in other words, what may be the disadvantage of welded connection. That's what we have covered. We have also seen that there are few IS code recommendations, or in other words, we call them as the IS code clauses. IS 800 2007 has provided few guidelines in order to go for the design of welding. Okay, and we have seen that there are different types of welds. Most commonly in our syllabus, which we will be covering, will be the simple welded connections. Simple in the sense the members which will experience tension and compression forces. Those members will be designed. And for that design, since we have covered the design portion of bolted connection with respect to these members only, that is the tension and the compression member. Okay, we have not covered the connections which are subjected to moment as such. Those are known as moment resisting type of connections. The philosophy is a bit different. Ultimately, you are supposed to identify the number of bolts which are required in case of bolted connection, and for welded connection you will have to decide upon the thickness of the weld. So yesterday we have seen few terms as far as the welded connection is concerned. We have seen the size of the weld. This was one parameter. This is the parameter which will be required in order to decide or in order to go for the design of welded connection. That is the size of the weld. Another term is the thickness of the weld, and third term is the length up to which we are supposed to provide the weld. These are the important terms, and this is what we are going to design. But although these terms look very small, but the significance and the methodology or the science behind that is quite long, and because of that you will see your IS 800 2007 has recommended the specifications pertaining to that science. Okay, so we will revise that. We have seen the advantages, types, the symbols which will be required for you people to represent what type of welded connection you have provided. Every time you will not, it is not recommended that every time you will be, providing the information in a complete manner. For example, if I am providing fillet type of weld, कोई भी मेंबर का अगर कनेक्शन में फिलेट वेल्ड से करता हूँ मान के चलो, and if I want to represent that connection on the drawing or on the drawing sheet, every now and then I will not write that this is a fillet connection. No, that will be represented with the help of a symbol. Once that symbol is known to everyone, then it will be convenient to understand, even for a layman, that what exactly has been represented at that point. Okay, so that is the significance of your drawing. That is the significance of the arrow and symbol of different types of welded connections. This is true for bolts. Okay, जैसे बोल्ट के अलग अलग डायमीटर होते हैं, तो for any connection you will be representing the arrow, and on that arrow you will be showing the size. That is, if it is 16 mm dia, so you will just write 16. That's it. Rest of the things will be understood because you will be mentioning in that drawing sheet that all the units are in mm. Once you do so all the numbers which you will be representing, those will be automatically assigned to the mm unit. So on and so forth. These symbols, as you can see, most commonly you will see the fillet welds. Okay, and the groove or the butt type of connection. That is the, there are different connection shapes as you can see over here. Okay. For example, this plate, if it is truly rectangular, and if it is supposed to be connected with some cut like this, so such type of shape is your bevel shape. Okay. This is a V notch or V type of connection. Okay. So on. So depending upon different types of, these are very commonly used shapes, and based on these shapes the symbols are represented. Okay. But the representation is very significant, that I will be discussing. Now see, these are the clauses which we have seen, and one thing you can see over here, uh, this is the fillet type of weld, and this fillet weld, if you can observe very closely, the shape of this is convex type, bulging outside. So this is a convex type of shape. On the contrary, this is concave type of shape. So both these connection or welding types can be provided. Okay, but based on this, the calculation will change based on the shape. If it is convex, the IS code recommends different clauses. For concave, it is different, right? So both these categories, howsoever the shape may be, the size of the leg and all will be this much only. That is, this point is known as the root of the weld, and from this root to this much distance or up to this much, it is known as the weld size or size of the weld. This is of our importance. Then this will be known as the thickness of the weld. Abhi thickness, although it looks to be truly convex or truly concave, but on the side it is not the condition. It is some or the other way distorted. It is not that concave or convex. Okay. So how to identify the thickness? So mathematically, we can consider this portion to be a triangular portion, and we can drop a perpendicular from this root on this hypotenuse. Size of the weld should be even. It should be even. So from that point of view, this value thickness, it comes out to be 0.707 times the L or the size of the weld. Okay. Now there are few clauses. Important clause for such type of connection, which we will be frequently coming across. That is the tension member or the compression member. In that case, we are supposed to go for these end returns. Purpose of this end return is to keep the two members in position. Because last time, since I told you, if the connection is terminated up to only this point, what will happen? This will come out. This connection will come out. There won't be any kind of protection as far as the ends are concerned. So therefore, these end returns are to be provided. And for that, as per this clause, this is I think page number 78 of your IS 800. Fillet welds terminating at the ends or sides of parts should be returned continuously around the corners for a distance of not less than twice the size of the weld. 2 times size of the weld. Size of the weld is represented by capital S. Okay, so it is 2 times S. ये minimum requirement यहाँ पे दिया हुआ है. Then we have seen the size of the weld definition and all. We have understood that. Effective throat thickness, this much. That's what I have explained to you people. अभी देखो ये concave है जरूर, but ये distance यहाँ से लेके यहाँ तक नहीं गिना गया. It is not possible, and therefore some mathematical value has to be assigned to it, and it should be logical. So fine. This table is of our importance that we will see when we will solve one numerical. Okay. In that case, you will see the use of this table. Then we have also seen the effective length. Okay. Effective length of the fillet weld shall be taken as only that length which is of the specified size and required through thickness. In practice, the actual length of the weld is made up of effective length shown in the drawing plus 2 times the weld size, but it should not be less than 4 times the size of the weld. Okay, so this is the minimum criterion rather, which is mentioned in this. This table, it specifies that for purpose of stress calculation in fillet welds joining faces inclined to each other, the effective throat thickness shall be taken as K times the fillet size, where K is your coefficient depending upon the inclination of the connection, right? So fine, we will discuss about the detailing, drawing. Okay. So now see in this figure, in this figure, as you can see, there is one arrow which is shown over here. ठीक है? अगर आपको यहाँ पे difficulty हो रही है, you can check it in your mobile device even. You can zoom it if possible. Okay. So see what are the components which are given over here. As you can see, there is one arrow, and above the arrow there are few terms which are written. S, then E, F, A, R, etc. You can mute that. So can you please read out what is the meaning of F, capital F? Yes? Finish. Then what about capital A? A. This A. Root angle. Groove angle, sorry. What about capital R? Groove opening. Root opening. Then what about this capital S? Hmm? Depth of bevel. Capital S. Capital E. Groove weld size. What about capital L? Length of the weld. Capital P. Then these are the components which are above the arrow side. Try to understand. ये जो arrow है, इसके ये above portion का description अभी हमने पढ़ा. Now let us try to understand what is given below the arrow. Below arrow. What is this capital N? ठीक है. तो slot welding, plug welding, उससे related वो terms है. Then what about this T, capital T? Specification of process. Great. What about these brackets? These are okay. And what is the significance of or this? Yes. Oh, that is also correct. For हाँ? यहाँ से zoom करो बोलो. Oh, this is also fine. Thank you. So this is field weld symbol. This is weld all around symbol. This is the arrow connecting the reference line to arrow side member of the joint or arrow side of joint. Now see, this is the bracket which is representing the sides. Okay, this is above and below, or as far as the symbol, the arrow is concerned, this is known as the description which is on the arrow side. तो जो below portion का जो है, in that bottom portion you are supposed to mention all the details which are along the arrow side, and these are the details which are to be represented on the other side of the connection. ये हम समझ लेंगे what is the arrow side and other side of the connection. Now see, this is one contour symbol. Contour symbol जैसे मैंने convex या concave, those are nothing but the contours. Those are known as contours. So this symbol is representing the contour. Finish symbol, as you have told me, groove angle, included angle of or countersink for plug welds. Then R is the root opening, length of the weld, and so on. Right? So now just we will try to understand how to incorporate this arrow and how to see the symbols. Now over here, yeah. Now see, now ये देखो, ये for example ये drawing है. This is a drawing, and in this drawing, as you can see, this is the weld which is provided. First of all, we need to understand what type of welding is this, whether it is butt weld or fillet weld. Naturally, it is a fillet weld. Why? Because these two members are getting connected in a perpendicular or with respect to some angle, isn't it? So this is a fillet weld. So we have identified first thing that the welding is a fillet weld. Now, what is this 3 by 6 8 inches? तो ये क्या हो गया? What is this? What this must be? Size of the weld. Since we have seen size of the weld, it starts from the root up to the end of the weld. So this becomes the size of the weld, right? Now, if I want to represent this connection, no other information is given other than this part. If I want to represent this complete information with respect to the arrow which we have just now understood, so how it can be? ये देखो, ये यहाँ पे एक symbol draw किया है, and while representing this, have you noticed one thing? That the symbol of the fillet connection is okay, and the size of the weld, all these things, both these things are written below the arrow. Why? Because this side is representing the side where the connection is performed. तो यहाँ पे देखो, इस साइड में कनेक्शन परफॉर्म किया हुआ है, और वहीं पे हम एरो जो है वो रिप्रेजेंट कर रहे हैं. यहाँ पे अगर कोई कनेक्शन प्रोवाइड किया होता, ओके, द इंफॉर्मेशन रिलेटेड टू दिस कनेक्शन would have been represented over here, that is on the other side of the arrow. Got it? So for example, just for an example, ये देखो, okay, yes, this is a groove weld. By now you must have understood groove and butt weld connection. groove welds or butt welds, they are connected when the two connections are made are to be done in the parallel manner. So you can see this connection. Instead of drawing all these things, we can simply represent it in this manner. And now just try to understand. ये देखो एरो दिया हुआ है और ये जो एरो है इसका जो बॉटम पोर्शन है वहां पे हम क्या प्रोवाइड करते हैं इंफॉर्मेशन, द इंफॉर्मेशन रिलेटेड टू द कनेक्शन विच इज ऑन दैट एरो साइड. ओके, तो ये एरो जो है ये यहाँ पे रिप्रेजेंट किया है और एरो साइड में कौन सा कनेक्शन है, ये वाला. सो यू आर सपोज टू मेंशन ऑल द डिटेल्स ओवर हियर. सो यू कैन सी ग्रूव वेल्ड और ये V connection है, as you can observe over here. This is a V type of connection. So V type of symbol is represented. Then the size of the weld is also represented. 1.5, half inch. Half inch is given. So half inch you have represented over here. Okay, and the angle information. This is the root angle which you are supposed to provide. That is again provided. Now over here, if you can see, on the top 45-degree angle is given, whereas at the bottom 60-degree angle is given. While representing the arrow, you are supposed to represent the connection details in such a way that bottom part of the arrow will represent what it will represent, the connection which is shown at that point. And on the other side or on the above side of the arrow, you are supposed to represent the details of the connections which are on the other side of the arrow which is pointing at the connection. Okay, so in that case this 60-degree will be above this arrow and that has to be followed. The meaning of this is you are supposed to follow all the details which are given or represented by the arrow. This is nothing but the symbolic representation. Now you can see, in this case, this is a tack weld. There are different lengths of the weld associated and the center to center distance, what we call it as the pitch, that is also given. Pitch distance kitna hai? It is 5 inch, whereas the length is 2 inch. Length of the weld is 2 inch, pitch is 5 inch. Okay, so on the other side, you can see there is no connection. Only on the one side, the connection is provided. So you are supposed to mention that connection, whatever connection is there, along the arrow side. So this is the arrow. What type of connection it is? Obviously, it is a fillet weld, and the representation is with the help of this triangle. Now, if I want to represent the length and the pitch, how it has to be represented? So see, over here, पहले length आएगा और उसके बाद में pitch, and how it is mentioned, L-P, correct? So from here, it is very clear that this becomes the length of the weld and this becomes the pitch of the weld. And this information will be followed by the symbol of the weld. Over here it is fillet weld. मान के चलो वो पेन नहीं आता है इसमें, अच्छा फुल स्क्रीन करना पड़ेगा ना. हाँ, फॉर एग्जाम्पल यहाँ पे कनेक्शन होता है, not here, let's say over here, and it is something of this sort, convex. तो आप लोगों ने क्या किया रहता? So whether the information is to be represented over here or here, above or below the arrow, above, ठीक है? तो ठीक है, fillet weld है, this is again fillet weld, but if you can see the contour is convex type. Okay, so how it will be? This is fillet weld, and now I am supposed to represent the convex contour. The convex contour is represented in this manner. Okay. So I think ये देखो ये जो symbol है, this is the convex representation of the weld. Okay, and if it is a fillet weld plus convex nature, then it has to be shown like this. Along with this, the size of the weld has again to be represented. So over here, the size of the weld shall be 3 by 8 inch. This is how the symbolic representation of any welded connection is to be conducted. One more thing, one more aspect. ये जो है, this is regarding the specification. Fine. What it says, this is regarding to the specification, process or other reference. See, most of the time, what happens? Some information, whether the welding is to be done on the site or it has to be done in the workshop, that has to be mentioned. For the fabricator to understand or for the welder to understand where exactly the process has to be done, that information needs to be there in your drawing as well. Okay, so that information can be provided over here. Let's say, for example, in our case, if this connection is to be prepared on the site, then in that case, what you will do, in order to mention that information, you will give this symbolic representation first of all, and over here you are supposed to write field, F-I-E-L-D, sorry for that, field weld. Okay? Field weld. Once you write this information, the welder will come to know that welder has to perform the welding on the site. Either field weld or on-site weld. These terms can be used. Okay. So such kind of references, specifications, which cannot be covered on that arrow, can be represented over here. Okay. So you may come across such kind of question wherein such drawing may be given to you, and that drawing has to be explained with the help of some symbol that can be there. So you are supposed to know the different types of symbolic representation, how it can be done. And I hope to some extent you have understood the explanation. In case if the welding is concave type, in that case, let's say for example, this is something of this sort. Concave. So what I will do, I will be representing the fillet weld symbol, and the concave symbol is to be represented in this manner. That's it. Done. Along with this, don't forget to mention the size of the weld. That is 3 by 8 inch. This is 3 by 8 inch. Understood? ये सिंपल कनेक्शन पहले आप लोग मेमोराइज कर लो, समझ लो, and once you study the advanced part of it, you will come to know that how to represent other symbolic representation. I hope this is understood. So, below the arrow जो कनेक्शन दिया हुआ है वो रिप्रेजेंट होता है. Above the arrow अदर साइड में जो कनेक्शन प्रोवाइड किया हुआ है वही मेंबर का वो रिप्रेजेंट होगा. फॉर एग्जांपल दिस, तो मान के चलो अगर यहाँ पे 60 होता और यहाँ पे 45 होता, मान के चलो, सो व्हाट चेंज वुड हैव बीन देयर ओवर हियर? एग्जैक्टली रिवर्स. 60 would have been become 45 and 45 would have been 60. So that is the representation. Okay? These are few drawings, and you can see there are few specifications. Those are also I mean given. तो थोड़ा ये अच्छी आइडिया दी आपने. So you can see this is a very common connection between a column and a beam. And as you can see, in addition to the weld, we have also provided the bolt connection. So as a combined connections करने पड़ते हैं, and it is acceptable. There is no harm. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि हम सिर्फ और सिर्फ weld ही provide करें या सिर्फ bolt provide करें. No, we can even go for the combination of weld and bolt in order to create the required amount of fixity. Okay, so that can be done. Now you can see over here, there are different symbolic representations which are given. ये इसका ये क्या है इसका significance? ये जो फ्लैग है, फ्लैग उसका क्या मीनिंग है? फील्ड वेल्ड है ना. तो ये जो है ये फील्ड वेल्ड का कनेक्शन सिंबलिक रिप्रेजेंटेशन है. ठीक है. देन ये जो है इसका मतलब क्या हुआ? ये देखो, व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ दिस? स्लॉट वेल्ड, प्लग वेल्ड, ये वेरीफाई कर लेना. इसका मतलब है कि ये जो कनेक्शन है, ऑन दिस फेस ऑफ द कनेक्शन plug weld or slot weld is provided, whereas on the other side of the connection, that is back side of this connection, what is the shape? Groove weld is provided, and nature is B weld. Okay, and there are some specifications which are mentioned. ये क्या कहता है? CJP at beam web to column flange. So what are these CJP and all? The complete meaning of this has to be represented on this side of the drawing. यहाँ पे जो है a vertical line is drawn. Normally in your drawings you must have observed this, but for your information, additional information, on this side of the drawing or on this side of the drawing sheet, you are supposed to write down the notes, and you are supposed to mention the full form of the abbreviations whatever you have used. यहाँ पे मुझे CJP का नहीं मालूम. This is just for your reference. So the meaning of CJP must be something. The exact meaning has to be mentioned on this side of the drawing sheet in the form of notes. Okay. So this is a typical welded connection symbolic representation which is provided over here. Okay. And this is how you are supposed to draw the drawings. Fine. ये 3-dimensional view है. इसमें bolted connection. ये drawing है. For example, इस drawing का या 3-dimensional view का ये symbolic representation यहाँ पे दिया हुआ है. You can study that. Okay. Then finally, to summarize, so what we have seen what exactly is the welded connection, what are the advantages, what are the disadvantages, what are the different types, and for designing, what are the essential IS 800 clauses. Those are to be remembered. Symbolic representation. And to summarize, we will see or we will compare the welded and the bolted connection, and let's see which one wins. है ना? आप लोग YouTube देखते हो, okay? And in YouTube, most of the time, I suppose this is what I believe. आप लोग YouTube पे कंपैरिजन देखते होंगे और उसके रिव्यूज पढ़ते होंगे, am I right? टेक एग्जांपल ऑफ मोबाइल फोन. तो कोई एप्पल सिलेक्ट करेगा, एप्पल के अलग अलग मॉडल्स आप लोग सिलेक्ट करते हो, एंड व्हाट यू डू, यू कंपेयर, एंड आउट ऑफ दैट व्हाट विल बी द बेस्ट सुटेड solution or mobile phone for you, that you choose, isn't it? Similar type of thing you are supposed to do in this case also. You are supposed to compare, you are supposed to understand your requirements, and based on the requirements you are supposed to provide or adopt that thing, isn't it? Same kind of thing should be done, and that is done over here. Welded joints, they are economical as these splice plates and bolts are eliminated. Okay, I will let you know what exactly is the meaning of splice plate. Also, the gusset plates required are smaller in size. Labor cost is less, 1% against at least 2% for bolting. It is more rigid. Tubular section connection is possible. Tubular connection, pipe जो है, आप लोगों ने मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम देखा होगा कोई शेड या फिर कोई ट्रस, दीज आर मेड अप ऑफ पाइप मेंबर्स, और ये पाइप मेंबर्स बोल्टेड कनेक्शन से कनेक्ट करना इट इज बहुत डिफिकल्ट, पॉसिबल भी नहीं होता है. वेल्डिंग इज द बेस्ट सॉल्यूशन. रिमेंबर, पाइप सेक्शंस आर मोस्ट एफिशिएंट सेक्शंस hollow section में. Okay, why it is efficient? Try to identify the reason about this and let me know. Fusion of two metal pieces provide continuous structure giving better architectural appearance. ठीक है. Then alteration with less expenses. Welding process is quick. It is silent compared to noisy bolting, but it creates pollution. ये भी उसका एक आफ्टर इफेक्ट है वेल्डिंग का, बहुत पोल्यूशन होता है. साइलेंट तो ठीक है. Details and drawings of welded structures are easier and less time consuming. We have seen that. We have understood how the drawings and the symbolic representation is to be done. It is 100% efficient. Possibility of efficiency is close to 100%. Members may distort due to heat during welding process against bolting. So ये थोड़ा सा एक disadvantage sort of thing. Inspection of welding joints is difficult and expensive. तो आप लोगों को मैंने कल के ही लेक्चर में बताया, it is quite expensive. More skill for weld joint. तो ये तो challenge हो गया, disadvantage नहीं. Now, coming back to this splice. What exactly is splice plate? देखो, जब दो कॉलम या वर्टिकल मेंबर, देखो मोनोलिथिक हम प्रोवाइड कर सकते हैं, नो प्रॉब्लम, बट उसका हाइट लिमिटेशन हम 10 मीटर तक we can manufacture or fabricate that column which is in the vertical position. But in multi-storied structures whose height is more than 50-60 meter, in that case, if we want to connect the columns to each other, then there is a provision. What is done? If this is column and this column is to be connected with this bottom column, they are connected with the help of such type of plates. These are known as splice plates. ठीक है. गसेट प्लेट यानी ये अगर मेंबर से मान के चलो और ये मेंबर्स को कनेक्ट करना है, इवन अगर कोई डायगोनल मेंबर है ऐसा, that this is known as the gusset plate. This is known as splice plate. Understood? तो I section का जो वेब पोर्शन, मोस्टली I sections are used as your columns. कन्वीनियंट है. तो I section जब हम कनेक्ट कर रहे हैं तो उसका जो वेब पोर्शन है Mostly that web portion is connected with the help of these types of plates which are known as splice. So welded joints are economical as splice plates and bolts are eliminated. तो ये bolted connection हम यहाँ पे provide कर सकते हैं यहाँ पे. In order to eliminate those bolted connections, what we can do? We can directly weld this column to the another column. उसका वेब और फ्लैंज पोर्शन हम वेल्ड कर सकते हैं, कोई प्रॉब्लम. So what we have done, we have eliminated this splice plate. So the meaning of that is this. Got it? So in the next class, we will see the design requirement and how the length of the weld, size of the weld, thickness, and the design, overall design of any simple connection can be conducted. Simple connection का मतलब क्या हुआ? Tension compression members. Bending से related फिलहाल कुछ नहीं. ठीक है? This is fine. Okay. I will stop here.